And welcome everybody to another episode of Mac Yak, number 18.
Hello.
So we're getting up there on our numbers. Maybe when we get 25 or 100, we'll be way up there. But yeah, we're getting better and better actually. So welcome again. Tonight we're kind of light on hosts tonight. So you're going to just be stuck with myself, Jay for a little bit. He may have to step out at any moment. But you'll have me and Rocky at least the whole night. And Steve will probably try to stay here as long as possible, but he may have to bail out too. Yeah, he's crossing.
You might just have to hear my voice and not see me. But
hey, we have audio on the stream right off the bat.
Hey, there we go.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like that. I like it. It's not like double backing or anything like that.
Nope.
All right, guys. So anyways, we're going to start off with some of the things that Rocky and I both kind of picked up this week. I'm going to start off with what I got. Since it was only one item, Rocky got like a massive load of stuff. So we'll save his till after mine. But I ended up picking up this little beast for free here. And story about it is I saw it on the Sierra Vista for sale group on Facebook. The guy said first come, first serve. I didn't think it was going to be there. Started going out to get it. And he said the first person on the list, if you don't get it by 5. So I made it there and I was like, boom, picked it up. This is a 1,1 Mac Pro minus hard drives and power cable. I didn't care about all that. As I'm going out the door, though, the guy's like, you could use it as a barbecue grill. I'm like, no, that's not going to happen. Anyways, I wouldn't want to use a aluminum Mac anyways for a barbecue grill because that right there would be pretty bad. But when I opened it up, everything looked pretty good on the inside at first notice. But, I mean, the memory risers looked pretty good. Didn't have any problems with those. Let me pull up some good pictures here. Give me a second here.
Come on, man. Rotate your shots. What is this? What is this?
Yeah. Anyways, when I started it up, okay, this is the screen I got it's a 2 times 2.66 gigahertz unknown, which basically meant that it had upgraded CPUs. So basically, instead of having the 2 dual core CPUs, it actually had 2 quad core CPUs in it already. Which I thought was pretty cool about that. But anyways, when I pulled up the hardware overview, I saw that, yes, total number of cores was 8, which I thought, awesome, I got a pretty damn good deal here. The cool thing about this is when I actually went to go and open this thing up, and here's a picture of what I got after I removed the fans. This was some nastiness like you wouldn't believe. Yeah, it put your bunnies to shame there, Steve. Those are some serious nasty dust bunnies there. But everything cleaned up pretty good, actually. But and the paste on the heat sinks and the CPU was all dried up and nasty. So I, cleaned all that up, of course. Got all that stuff done. But here's the CPUs with the paste still on them that I had to scrape off. But I got it scraped off and got them cleaned up. However, I noticed something on the CPUs after I got them done. I don't know if you could see it on the stream here, but it says Intel Confidential on it. And these were engineering sample. That's what the ES... right there on the second line, I don't know if you can read it on the stream, but it says ES, it says QWIM ES, and the ES stands for engineering sample. So these are basically pre-production chips that technically should have never gotten to my hands, but they did. And Intel can't have them back. Sorry.
Oh, that's a good point. Sorry, dude. I forgot your name again. Crippler X. It says 05 on it.
Uh-huh.
That can't be right.
No. because it's 2.66, and these are quad cores, but these are engineering samples, so they're probably pre-production before they came out with the quad core Xeons.
Yeah, okay, makes sense.
So they run pretty good, though. I mean, the Geekbench tests were pretty good on it. In fact, they kind of came close to what Rocky's. You got a 3.1, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
You didn't come close. You whooped his butt. Don't be modest. Don't be modest.
He didn't. I reran it.
The fans were pretty nasty. I mean, this thing looked like it had never, ever seen the light of day as far as cleaning went. So, but anyways, I got it flashed. I'll be putting an article up on MacYak.com soon showing how I got it flashed, because if you go to Greg Rutke's Mac Pro Series and watch his video, that doesn't work anymore because Apple decided to move the files, so the patcher is broke. It doesn't work the way it's supposed to, so there's a workaround, but it's all in the there he is. The date is from when the socket was created. Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense. That's Grudy right there, as a matter of fact. Anyways, yeah, that's my haul, and I've got it flashed to 2.1. But you guys can go read that article when Jay gets it published up on the MacYak.com website. So we're going to throw it over to Rocky here and let him talk about his haul.
Well, what was it? It was Monday this week. A buddy of mine here in Kansas, John Holmes. I did, of course, ask to make sure that it was okay to to credit him on stream and whatnot. So he's cool with that. But he was looking to get rid of all of his old Macs. Now we have PowerPCs and 68K machines, to say the least. It's a lot. And one Apple, what do they call that? The cinema display that with the ADB connection on it.
ADC, yeah, the older,
the ADC
ones.
connection, yeah. And it has no cracks in it, so.
I need better friends, man. If one of my friends is like, "Oh, hey, dude, here's a rechargeable battery for your mouse," or "Here's the front cover of a G3," no one says like, "Here, have my whole collection."
I got the pictures of your G4s and your classic Macs on there right now.
Oh,
so
nice.
Want to talk about those?
Yeah. So yeah, it's got the total haul was a Mac SE30 not SE30, it's an SE, and it has a clean board, no issues whatsoever, and it supposedly works 100%. I haven't booted it up. I don't have a keyboard for that one yet. And then there's a Mac LC and LC2, both clean boards. The power supplies need redone. One has it, the other one doesn't. And then there's a 6400-200 Performa, also clean. All the boards are clean on these. Two Performa 575s with LC040s in them. What is it? It's a Sawtooth, the AGP style, G4. That one, I don't remember the speed on it. And then a Quicksilver, single CPU. It's the first generation Quicksilver, 733 if I remember right. And that actually came from the local, it still has a sticker on it, from the Wichita Eagle.
Hold on a second, guys. Nothing I could do about the buffer. That's got to be YouTube, because I've got plenty of bandwidth here.
Yeah, it's YouTube. Yep, it's YouTube.
Carry on.
Yeah. So, and then the last one in that set is a mirror drive door, which is an 866 dual core. So that's my first mirror drive. Yeah. I'm adding a few machines actually that I've never owned before. I've never owned a mirror drive door, and I've never owned, well, no, I take it back. I did own a Sawtooth once, but it was dead. So all the Macs work. So, and the biggest thing that I'm tickled about for me is the 6400-200, because when I got rid of mine a long time ago, I didn't know how much I would regret getting rid of it. And I'm tickled pink to have one again.
Didn't you say you suspected it might be the same one?
Yeah, I suspected, but I looked at it. It wasn't the EEV model. Didn't have the whole cutouts and everything for all the media. So,
damn.
Yeah. But that's okay, though. It's still 6400, 200, and I'm okay with that.
Nice haul.
Yeah.
Anything else you want me to show on here?
No, not unless you want to.
Well,
But I did want to say something
sending,
else, though.
You're sending that MDD to me, right?
Maybe.
Say no.
Say no. You better say no now. But here's
No, I do have
here's
to
a
say
picture
something
of
else
all
real
your
quick.
haul.
Oh, you got the whole haul on there now?
Yeah,
Sweet.
I got the whole haul.
And also, today is my mom and daughter's birthday. So,
Woo!
Oh,
happy birthday to them. Yeah, even though they don't watch the streams. So, maybe in the future.
So your daughter is now at an age where it's mandatory to play Unreal Tournament every week. Did you tell her?
Yeah, there you go.
Yep.
All right, guys. So that's our welcome there. Let me get our next topic up here. Our next topic is going to be a doozy because I actually had some issues Friday using Apple Pay. Okay, I don't know if anybody's used Apple Pay a lot. I don't use it a lot. I use it sometimes when I feel like it. If I have my phone out, it's just easier for me to stick the card in the damn slot now. And sometimes Apple Pay is just a pain too because you got to. Some places want like PIN number, then you got to do this, and you got to do this, and you got to do this. It's just, to me, it's just a pain. I'd rather just put the card in and be done with it. Anyways, what happened to me was I went to Staples, and apparently, since Staples is one of those places that has public Wi-Fi, apparently I'd connected to it before. I don't remember doing it or not, but apparently there is a way to actually steal your ID, the token, because Apple, in its infinite wisdom, does not encrypt that token. That token is in the plane and it goes over the Wi-Fi network. So anybody if you're on a Wi-Fi network with your phone or your watch, and you use Apple Pay, and somebody is war driving, and I hope everybody knows what war driving is. I'm not going to explain that too well.
That's fun.
That's when you really have to pee when you're on your way home, right?
But anyways, what they do is they go around and they try to find when people are actually doing this stuff, and they capture your token. And with that token, they can actually basically get your card number. That's all they need. They don't need that unique Apple ID that they stick on there that Apple says that makes it so secure. And so I thought, well, hell, that can't happen. So I went researching on Google. And of course, guess what? As soon as I searched the first article on Google, it was an article back in 2016. However, I actually messaged the guy and I said, hey, is this still valid in 2019? And he said, yes. He says, because Apple has not changed their Apple Pay protocol since they first started it.
Aww.
So my advice to you is to never, ever, and this is my mistake, ever use public Wi-Fi. Never, ever, ever, ever. Hotel Wi-Fi, anything like that, do not use it. Okay? That is a no-no. I reset my network settings, so now the only Wi-Fi it connects to is when I'm at work because it's encrypted, and when I'm here at home because it's encrypted. Other than that, never use public Wi-Fi, especially when you're using any type of pay. And this actually also applies to Google Pay, too. I found out that they have the same exact kind of problem. So don't think it's just an Apple Pay thing, but it's pretty much both of them.
And if you want any more tips on securely using your devices, have a look at episode 14 where we cover all of it.
Yep. Okay. Any questions on that?
Yes. So, are you going to try to have this happen again? Just to test if it's...
No.
Why not?
Because, okay, here's the thing.
Fun in that?
Here's the thing. Luckily, I have a good bank. I have USAA, okay, because I was in the military before, and I'm able to keep USAA for the rest of my life. They sent me a text saying that, hey, we've noticed this fraudulent activity. Did you do this? I said, nope. And so I called them right away, and they stopped all the stuff that happened on my card. Not until they actually got $600 out of me. Okay.
Apparently we have an audio delay.
Yeah, Rutke is losing his shit because our audio is out of sync. If he was here on the call with us, he could just tell us, instead of screaming in the chat. But
Yeah. Well, there's nothing I could do about that, guys. I mean, this is a YouTube thing.
Do we try to restart real quick?
I tell you what, guys, let me reconnect and restart. It should fix it up. But don't anybody mess with the video afterwards. All right, starting back up. All right, hopefully this will fix the problem here.
Hopefully.
Let me mute so I can put the sound on.
Okay, I don't know if we're back or not, so we'll see. But, I mean...
We've got a second.
It's still got a delay?
No, I'm saying it's not back yet.
Oh.
Now it is. It's back.
Okay. So hopefully it's back and running and we're good to go. All right.
Yep, we're good.
All right.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll stay that way.
We should mention that we have been experimenting with Zoom, with Discord, with Skype, and unfortunately FaceTime is still the lesser of all the evils out there. Even though when we use it throughout the week, suddenly there's 4 of us in a call, 3 of us will suddenly have a black screen, FaceTime crashes completely, kicks us out, we can't reconnect for 5 minutes. So group FaceTime is a hot mess. I don't know if it's something on the server going on or if it's the latest iOS update. I have no idea.
Could be.
We are looking for a good alternative. We just haven't found it yet.
Yeah. I may end up trying something new besides Wire. It might be also Wirecast because for some reason Wirecast is like really slow on my end as far as taking inputs. When I click something, it like takes a second before it actually does something. So I'm wondering if it's that. I don't know.
Well, that's your problem.
Yeah. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah. But I used Apple Pay right before the show. I went to the gas station, pick up some snacks, and I'm like, let me try it. So I turned my Wi-Fi on, turned my Bluetooth on. It didn't connect to anything, but then I used Apple Pay. So we'll see if any fraud charges pop up in the next day or two.
Well, what's funny is when I use a gas station pump, I always wiggle that little piece that they have on there.
Yep.
That's one of the first things I do.
Yeah, same when I use an ATM.
Yeah. Then when I stick my card in, I put my hand directly over the keypad because that's how they get your PIN numbers. They have a little camera sitting up there. So I put my hand over and I do it like this, and then I actually press a few more keys. I pretend to press a few more keys.
Yeah. And I always wipe down the keypads. Whether I'm at a supermarket, a gas pump, I always wipe down the keypad.
Never thought of that.
Yeah.
Well, there's also a thing where if you're using the plastic keys, they have a little infrared thing that can actually see your heat signatures on there. So even if you wipe them down, they're still on there.
Yeah.
The problem what the good thing about gas station ones is they're metal most of the time, and those actually don't transfer heat. So they dissipate it quicker, in other words, so that infrared camera can't really detect it. They've
all these things, all these ways that they can steal your card info. Isn't that what Apple Pay was for?
Was. It looks like we might be losing Steve.
His battery ran out. Like, I got 95%. I don't need a charger. And then you start group FaceTime. Bye-bye battery.
All right, guys. But anyways, just be safe when you use Apple Pay. I wiped every card I had on Apple Pay off my phone now. I am not going to ever use it again. It basically a lesson learned for me. I almost lost $600. Luckily, my bank gave it all back to me. So, you may not have a bank that does that. Your bank may say, "Yep, you're shit out of luck," or and then sorry, but you're SOL, and you're not going to get your money back.
But
So
statistically, isn't the chance of getting your Apple Pay intercepted much lower than all the other ways that they try to steal your card info with skimmers, with cameras, with all that stuff?
true, yes.
I would think that it's going to go up, though. I mean, it seems like a fairly easy method, I'm sure, once they've got enough little scripts on their machine to just quick run it.
Just think of this. The skimmer, they have to physically have something on the machine to get it. Whereas Apple Pay is all wireless. So basically, they could be near you, not or on the same Wi-Fi network. That's the whole thing, is they have to be on the same Wi-Fi network. So they could be clear across the parking lot and still get your information. They're not getting the NFC data. They're getting the Wi-Fi data that's going to Apple.
So instead of just turning your Wi-Fi off when you leave the house, you're just going to stop using Apple Pay?
Yes.
Just turn your Wi-Fi off.
The problem with that is guess what? Then your GPS doesn't work very well because the way Apple designed it, it's stupid. But whenever you turn it off, you ever see that saying, "Oh, you need to turn Wi-Fi on to use your GPS." It's like,
not since iOS 5.
Mine doesn't do that anymore.
No, that shouldn't be an issue.
Anyways, I just don't get on any public Wi-Fi anymore. So
always a good idea.
Yes, don't do that unless it's an encrypted Wi-Fi, WPA2 or something like that. Do not get on it.
Right. Public Wi-Fi is bad. Okay. And I saw Steve on your end. I saw Steve popping up a few times. So I'm betting that he has the exact issue that we were having all week.
He might have to disconnect and reconnect.
Yeah.
All right. Let me see if I can get him in here.
Poor Steve.
All right. Well, we're going to move on to our next topic here. It's one that Jay wants to talk about pretty bad. So we had some issues that we saw that Jessa Jones, I don't know if you guys know who she is. She is the owner of iPad Rehab. And apparently CBC article or video came out where Apple banned her from the forums for telling people that data was possible to be recovered from water-damaged iPhones or iPads. Yeah. And all the moderators on there keep spouting out the lies, saying that, no, if you didn't back up your data, it's not recoverable. And she has proven time and time again, live on video, that, yes, it can be done.
Yeah, and for those who don't know Jessa, everybody by now kind of knows, or at least has heard the name Louis Rossmann. What Louis does for MacBook board repair, Jessa does for iPhone and iPad board repair.
She's actually the one that trained him, if I remember correctly.
I'm not sure about that. Could be. My history with her doesn't go back as far. But I keep an eye on her channel. I keep up to speed about repair methods and stuff like that. But she is definitely a freaking rock star when it comes to iPhone and iPad repair.
Yeah, so, if you guys didn't know it, she basically is a microbiologist.
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah. So she's used to working with very small things, and she learned all this stuff on her own, just like Rossmann did. Okay, Rossmann didn't go to school for that, neither did she. But she learned how to do this, and she knows what she's doing. I mean, Jay can attest to it that Rossmann probably taught him some stuff that he never knew before.
Yeah, it's I taught myself board repair mostly with the help of Louis Rossmann videos, and help on his forums and stuff. And a lot of people are being helped by Jessa Jones. The same way that Louis Rossmann helps people that want to do Mac board repair.
Yeah.
And it's I'm trying not to curse, so I have to rethink everything I want to say. It is shady, man. It is shady.
It is.
What Apple is doing.
Oh, yeah.
It's just downright shady. And I was on their support forums for, I want to say, well over 10 years, and that was 5 years ago.
Well, dude, I was on there for about 3 years. Yeah.
I was one of those people that had tens of thousands of points. I had a high rank. It doesn't mean anything, by the way.
Yeah.
Because I was on there day and night helping people.
I had 4 dots.
Even while I worked at Apple, I was there helping people. And after I left Apple, because similar shady practices happened in the store, I started posting stuff on the forums that they didn't like. So my own posts were deleted or edited with certain pieces of information blacked out or erased out of my post. And the same is happening to anyone that has the nerve to say, no, dude, your phone got wet. You're an idiot for not having a backup. If you don't have a backup, you are an idiot. I don't care what you say. But hey, someone that's good with micro soldering and knows what they're doing can get your data back.
Yes.
But if you dare say that, you don't even have to link to Jessa Jones or any of the other hundreds of shops out there that do this. Your comment will be removed in minutes. And if you do it again, your account will be blocked.
In fact, she wasn't even promoting her own business. She was just telling people, hey, yes, you can get it recovered.
Yeah.
She wasn't saying, come see me. And then, to top it all off, these people say anybody that says that they could do this is scamming you.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. Jessa Jones, she charges $300 for data recovery. However,
cheap.
If successful.
That's what I was going to say. If successful. If she can't do it, she doesn't charge you a dime.
Yep.
So
hey, that's dirt cheap.
Exactly. Exactly. If you have thousands and thousands of photos on your phone and stuff that you didn't back up, like Jay said, you should be backslapped for it, you know,
then backslapped.
Well, I'm not going to say the other one.
I know.
You have no idea how I am, and I don't know why. I curse like a sailor day and night, and I try not to at Mac Yak, and I think I've pulled it off so far. But
I did tonight, actually. I let one slip.
Twice before it comes out of my mouth, it has to circle my brain twice to filter out, replace some words when it comes out. But we're doing pretty good. And if you're on Discord, you probably know.
Yeah.
But it's funny because another company that most people probably have heard of before, Drive Savers. You know, they are the standard when it comes to data recovery. Hard drives, flash drives, any kind of device. Even they charge, depending on the difficulty to get the data back, they charge thousands.
Oh, yeah. I've sent stuff to them before. Their quotes just almost give you a heart attack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they don't scam you, but they definitely overcharge compared to someone like Jessa Jones that charges $300.
Mm-hmm.
So, and
she teaches people how to do this. She has classes to teach people how to do this stuff. I mean, and now I can see. I used to think Lewis, when I first started watching Louis Rossman, I thought, oh, he's an Apple hater, blah blah blah. Now I start to see why he dislikes Apple so much. It's.
And
he does rant a lot. Yeah, he does rant a lot, but now I'm starting to see he's right.
Yeah, and CBC, CBN, CBS, whatever the TV channel is called that did the original
one on
and we'll
him.
put links to all this in the description, by the way, if you don't know what we're talking about. The original news piece was what kicked it all off. Then Jessa Jones had 2 follow-up videos on her YouTube channel. And I think at this point, Louis Rossman has also had 2 videos that tie into that. So it's, it's a lot of drama, and Apple just continues to do what they're doing. If you go to the support forums right now, find a post where someone says, "My phone got wet. Can someone help me? Because I was an idiot for not backing up." and you say, sure, you can have someone repair your board long enough for you to extract your data, it will be removed. Even after all this exposure in the news.
And you'll get an email from Apple saying, hey, your post was removed because Jessa showed the email she got. It was removed because it violates the standards. You're putting false information out, I think is what they said, or something like that. And it's not false information when she has tons of videos proving it.
Yeah.
And that's what Louis Rossmann was ranting about today. He put out a new video today, basically saying that, I mean, he was angry. He was cussing and like a sailor, like you said, and
rightfully so, because I don't have a shop that is as well known as Louis Rossmann's. Nobody knows I do board repair because I've only been doing it for about 2 years.
Yeah,
but my success rate is through the roof. I can repair pretty much any board if I can have the time to work on it. And I'm a scam artist. According to Apple, I'm a scam artist.
Yeah, because those are not supposed to be repairable.
Yeah, I'm doing stuff they say is impossible. Lewis is doing that. Jessa is doing that. And hundreds of people everywhere are doing it. And we're all scam artists.
Yeah.
So.
But, they're doing, and you guys are doing it without help from Apple.
Yeah.
People have to go out there and build the schematics on their own. I mean, there's people out there that sit there and study these boards. They reverse engineer it. They build the schematics. They build the board views. I mean, it's ridiculous what they do.
Yeah.
And stuff like this, and this is a much larger discussion that we can devote an entire day on. But this all ties back into how green Apple is and how much bull stuff that claim is. That's close.
Ooh, okay, close.
If you are actively blocking people from finding ways to repair their device, then
that's
not
wrong.
a green company. You're not.
Exactly.
No,
and I wrote a comment about that. I said, and someone said, well, it's the board is never, they're beholden to their board and is to make money and stuff, and they have to go with the board. I said, well, then they need to sit there and strike that green stuff off of their website saying that they're a green company, because if you can't repair your own stuff and make it last longer, that's not being green.
Yeah, or you solder a gigabyte of memory to the freaking board of the computer, and then next year it's e-waste.
Yeah, exactly.
I've gone as far on my own Facebook to say boycott Apple support forums. This is just, and it's a long list of shady stuff that Apple does, and this is just the tip of the iceberg. But I'm ready to start a riot, man. They need to just snap out of it and wake up and do the right thing. It's ridiculous. These people, we support these people at Apple. From Tim Cook all the way down to the engineers, we support them because we buy their products, we promote their products, not in Mac Yak, but in our everyday life.
But to be honest with you, it's all Tim Cook. It's all about.
It was like that way before Jobs. I mean, before him too.
Well,
not to the extent, but
not to the extent. Okay, and to be honest with you, I think if Steve Wozniak had stayed at Apple,
oh God, I wish.
I think we
have
been a lot
Apple,
different.
We would have MacBook Pros about this thick right now.
Well, no.
I love one.
He was the type person that he built the computers to be expandable, for people to tinker with them, to improve upon them and stuff. That's what the Apple II was. I mean, if you look at the last things he touched, I mean, the Apple I, the Apple II, kind of the Apple III, and maybe the Mac. He did a little bit on the Macintosh, but the original, but he didn't do a lot. The stuff he touched, you could actually go in and actually repair this stuff. And then, afterwards, when he left, basically repairability and expandability, because Steve Jobs was against expandability, you know that.
Yeah.
But they've
been trying to sneak slots into those machines ever since.
Yeah. And to be honest with you, if Steve Wozniak had stayed at Apple, I think it would have been a whole lot different.
Yeah.
But, that's just the way it goes. I mean, he left, he bailed out, got his money, and he said, see ya.
I get. You're a big ass company. Ass doesn't count, by the way. You're a big company.
That's just a donkey.
Your expenses. You have your R&D. You got thousands of employees. You need to make a profit. Okay, I get it. You need to keep your shareholders happy and all that. But if you, without screwing people over, if you make good products and services, you will still make a profit.
Yep.
The way they're going about it now is not the way to do it. It's not sustainable because at some point people are going to get fed up and Apple stock is going to plummet and people are going to hate them and, as has happened with countless of companies in the past. But, we all help out on the various Facebook groups. We don't ask to be paid for it. We expect that if we help someone on Facebook, at some point, we're going to need help, and someone will be there to help us. That's how community works. Exactly. And if we don't agree with each other, there's not a moderator running around deleting posts. Greg said to do this. I disagree, so I said do this. Oh, your post has been removed. Please watch your mouth, sir.
Yeah.
The Apple Community Forum is a similar place to Facebook, if you look at it. Very black and white. People
but the problem is
to help each other.
And here's Apple's response to that too. They'll sit there and say, "Well, we don't moderate that because we don't own the community. It's on Apple.com. Right. Sorry, but that doesn't fly."
Yeah, and if you read the EULA when you sign up,
well, here's the thing. Louis Rossman made a video today about that. As a matter of fact, one of the moderators on there works for Apple, and guess what he gets paid to do? Moderate on there. He gets paid $93,000 a year just to moderate on that Apple Community Forum. Yeah.
Whoa, I want that job.
Yeah. But he basically gets paid to basically toe the Apple line.
Yep.
I'm towing the Mac Yak line over here on Discord.
Yeah.
I need to get paid $95,000 a year.
I'll pay you $95 every 95 years. How about that?
There you go.
Yeah. But I say anyone that needs help, whether you see it on a forum somewhere or a website or in person, anyone that needs help, direct them to Facebook. For your older Macs, you got low-end Mac. For your Mac Pro, you got Mac Pro Upgrade. Mac Pro users. There's groups for iPhone.
Yep. Oh yeah, there's groups for all iPads, of them. Yeah.
Even a group for Xserve. And there are everybody that's there is willing to help each other, else we wouldn't be there. Yep. So I say boycott the Apple support forums. Go to Facebook and find a group specifically to what you need. I say put that advice out to anyone you meet that needs help.
Yeah, you guys out there, spread that out too. Spread the hashtag boycott Apple support forums.
There you go.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous. I remember being on their forums years ago, and it's not just the censoring, but the type of people that are on there feel like they're so high and mighty. And I remember
exactly. Yes,
I was probably a teenager at the time, and I asked a question about an iBook or whatever, and they're, I think I asked, like, what's the maximum memory? And they're like, you fool, Apple says it's this amount. You can't go higher than that. Well, we know that's not true. They're not going to tell you can put more memory in your machine. They want you to buy a new one.
Yeah.
So, sometimes you just get a bad group of people. But what's, like Jay touched on, the good thing about the Facebook groups is it's a community of people. So no one's going to filter you or moderate you or anything like that.
Yeah. Well, you might get moderated if you like.
Well, if you're
do some stupid stuff. Ask Rocky about that one time.
Yeah.
Hey, that's how I made a good friend of mine. Yeah. I don't recommend that for everybody, though.
Yeah. You almost got banned.
Yeah.
You did get banned.
Did he?
What's banned?
Oh, from the other group. I didn't make a friend from that group, though.
Yeah.
Oh. No. But anyways, guys, I mean, that just irritates. I mean, we put that as like on our here. We saw that happen the other day, and we're like, oh, this has got to be a topic for tonight because Jessa, she does some good work. I mean, Louis Rossman's, all the right to repair groups are probably up in arms about this because it's just wrong for Apple to do this.
And it's
Period.
I don't want to call out Jessa Jones or Louis Rossman specifically. It's everybody that's willing to obtain knowledge and share it. I'm
Yep.
all for getting paid for your work. Like I put out a guide on repairing Xserve power supplies. You got everything you need to do it yourself. If you want me to do it, I'm going to ask money for it. Of course, I need to get paid for my time. But
Or you could
everybody
be a
that's out
patron.
there on on Facebook or Louis Rossman or on YouTube in general, everybody that's out there sharing knowledge, enabling other people to do stuff themselves, is a freaking hero. That's how it should be, and it's. I'm glad that we have people like Louis Rossman, Jessa Jones. We got on Facebook. We got a bunch of guys working on stuff. You got Colin Mister with his hardware fixes and his patchers. Moore. His name is Moore. I forgot his first name. Ethan Moore is working on Firefox updates for certain systems, and there's a lot of people on the Facebook groups that have a lot of knowledge, and they share it freely.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's how it should
As
be.
it should be, yeah.
And that's how the Apple forum should be as well. Just because it's on the Apple website doesn't mean it's any truth that can help people should be filtered out. So, yeah, boycott.
Yep. All right, guys. I think we beat this one into the ground. What do you guys think?
I can beat on this all night long, but we should move on.
Yes.
Hey, save your Vaseline moments for later in the evening, my friend.
Yeah. All right, guys. Next topic is colors. What is the best color of
lime green?
do we care? Do we really care about colors? That's the goal I was getting to right there.
Personally, I think it brought some niceness to the products. I mean, I'm talking obviously about the older stuff, the iMacs, the blue and whites. You know, they were pretty cool with the colors, and it was not anything like what was out there at the time. I mean, now everything's silver and black. It's kind of bleh, but
well,
I mean, to me, I enjoyed the colors.
I have the white iPhone, okay, and the reason why I have the white one, I just like the white color. Okay, my wife has the black one. Makes it easy to know whose is whose, you know.
Yeah.
I really like the iPhone 5C. I'm very disheartened that they didn't continue those colors. That was pretty cool.
But I mean, to be honest with you, I like the white ones. It just appealed to me. And in fact, when before they even came out, I think the first white one came out on the iPhone 3GS
it was the 3G because I had the 3G that was white. Yeah,
because they were having issues with the white and the not the camera, but
I know exactly what you're talking about.
There was a sensor.
The iPhone 4. The iPhone 4 was also in white, and the sensor had a problem.
Yes.
And the reason I learned this is I went to an Engadget show in 2010 or 2011, and Steve Wozniak was the guest.
The proximity sensor, that's what I was looking at.
He pulled out an iPhone 4 from his pocket that was white, and he explained that it had a problem with the sensor, but he bought the cover and repaired it himself or swapped it or whatever. But Steve Wozniak
he put in a flux capacitor.
He modded it up, and so I thought that was really cool. So yeah, sorry to derail you there.
No. That's fine, but that's the reason why it took forever to get the white one. But then they come out with the plastic, the unapologetic. What was it? He said unapologetically plastic. Remember, what's his name? The British guy. Man, I can't think of his name right. I'm having a brain.
Johnny Ive?
Johnny Ives, yeah. Where when they came out with the 5C, and he said it was unapologetically plastic. And I'm like, dude.
Unapologetically cheap.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking. Because I'm thinking, I remember because I had an iPhone 3G and a 3GS, and if you didn't have a case on that thing was getting scratched to hell. I don't care how much you try to take care of it. The back end of that thing was going to get scratched up. It did not matter,
Yeah, in concept, I like the colors, but I don't know.
Yeah, that one's all scratched to snot. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to.
Damn, that thing looks so small.
Anyway, so.
Yeah.
Now that you have all shared your love for the colors, and so
I
to
love
go off
the
camera
colors.
for a minute. I hate them. I've hated them since day one, and I used to run the repair department at an third-party Apple reseller, and Sometimes, if it was busy, I would help out on the sales floor. Well, we just got the brand new black and white MacBooks. And as you may recall, the black MacBooks were a little bit more powerful when it came to configuration.
200
Slightly
megahertz more.
Yeah. So these guys would come in with their daughters, and I'm sorry, it was only daughters. I have to make this gender specific, unfortunately. And my daughter is going to school, and she needs a laptop. Honey, which one do you want? And I think we still have some power books on the shelf and all kinds of stuff, iMacs. Oh, I want the white one. I said, well, if you're going to school and you want this thing to last for a while, you should go with the black one because blah, blah, blah. No, the white one is cuter. And that's how it started. And you're like, really? You're going to pick this because it's cute and you're not thinking logically. The black one is the obvious choice because it'll last you longer. But you want the white one because it's cute. And then came the phones with the different colors. And at that time, I was working at Apple. And we had people come in, mostly from Brazil, that would fly into Miami, and they would swarm the Apple stores. iPhone. Okay, get in line over there. Which one do you want? Gold. Gold is best. Said, dude, it's just paint. It's the same phone. The same value.
I'm gonna tell you. I'll tell you something there, Jay. I actually have the gold iPad.
Okay.
But it's funny because I'm talking on it right now, but it's funny because I have a what do you call it, D-brand skin on the back covering all the gold.
Dude, that's exactly it. These people would stand in line for days to get the gold phone because gold is best. And then they would turn around and grab a case off the shelf. Like, what? What? All this for a color paint that doesn't matter at all because I hate colors. Because of all that nonsense, I hate colors. Make everything aluminum and I'll be happy.
Yeah, but here's the thing about the colors, though, and I'll have to disagree a little bit with you on that.
You're not allowed to disagree with me.
Yeah,
you don't want everything to be exactly the same. I think that's one of Apple's biggest problems is that everything looks the same. Let's take, for example, the iMac, okay? It hasn't changed since 2012 actually was when they made the thin iMac. Okay, so for 7 years they've been making the same exact iMac. Now even the 2010 and 2011s looked almost identical, except they're thicker, But they look exactly the same. I'm looking at a 2009 here on my left and a 2017 on my right. And if you look from them face on, you can't tell the difference between the two. Okay? But if you look at the sides, then you can see the big difference because one's, an inch thick, the other one's about a quarter inch thick.
Yeah, but who looks at their computer at a 90-degree angle? I never got the argument that they haven't updated the case design in blah, blah, blah. You're looking at the screen. Who cares what the back looks like or the side or the foot?
I agree with you on that part, but it's getting dated.
So, my Mac Pro is now 7 years old, almost 8 years old, and it's still the most badass case design any Intel had.
That I got to agree with you on. That I like that case design. I mean, they started that back in the G5 era, so. What was it, 2004?
If tomorrow Apple unannounced keynote, they go on stage, and suddenly you read on Mac Rumors, Apple finally dropped the new Mac Pro. It's the same as the 2012 Mac Pro with upgraded internals, everything we ever wanted. Everybody starts drooling, and it's available in gold, rose pink, gold, yellow, and blue.
To be honest with you, no, because it's the same freaking cylindrical shape.
No, 2012 is cheese grater.
Cheese grater.
Okay.
Would you sit there full of pride, bursting with pride about this awesome Mac Pro if it's pink?
Because here's the thing.
You're Rocky. Of course you would.
Well, Rocky would, yeah. But here's the thing. That should be aluminum because that actually made that look good. To get those other colors on there, you'd have to paint it, and that paint would chip off.
They don't actually paint it. It's not paint, though.
These they would probably have to some kind of way. There's no way they're going to make something that big and not paint it.
True.
Because I mean, doing it on a phone is one thing because you impregnate it into the metal and stuff.
Yeah.
But
you know how Apple makes their colors? It's the crushed souls of Apple community members that got bands mixed into it.
That or the people that make it into the nets over in the factories.
Yeah, there you go.
Their tears.
Yeah, but colors, they can do away with them. I really don't care about colors. Stick with aluminum. And I'm pretty sure that to make your products colored, you have to be slightly less green and devote slightly more machinery and resources to get those colors.
Not to mention, when you want the color you want or whatever, that's going to be out of stock. So, it's just one more inventory item and SKU number.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I personally like the colors. I think it adds something, but I mean, it's not the end of the world. I don't care if my laptop is green or purple or orange or whatever.
So you don't have a case on your phone?
I have a black case. It just matches the black phone. Okay. So that's
this case I have is you can see through the back of it. So it's it's an OtterBox case, of course. So it's a little bit thicker than normal, but it works for my purposes. I like it. I like the blue color. That's just me. That's my favorite color.
When I got my iPhone 3G, it was white, and I immediately bought a case for it, and it was black. So the front was I think the front of that phone was still black. I think. I'm googling it real quick.
Well, see,
the front is I think it's still black. Yeah, the front was still black, so it didn't matter. It was just the back was white, but you couldn't see it because there was a case on it. So
yeah. All right. Any more on the colors, or are we going to beat this one into the ground?
I want to add one more thing.
Go for it.
Greg said his tripod is broken. He wasn't using it anyway. But the only place that colors make sense for me is on the front of the phone. Because I hate having my screen boxed in by a white bezel.
That's the reason I got the black.
I like that.
So.
See, I don't mind.
To be honest with you, I like that.
Why?
I just do. It's just me. It's my preference.
Why
you don't like
weird,
it,
bro? Explain
don't worry
yourself.
about it. You're weird for wanting black one.
Fine. We're done with colors.
All right. All right. Okay, here's the next pretty good subject. I think, Jay, you're going to want to talk a little bit about it, too.
So much
internet,
talking, man. I'm getting a dry mouth.
Yeah. Internet. Is the internet dying as we know it? Have you been paying attention? I don't know if everybody's ever looked at it lately, but we've had some issues lately as far as the European Union just passing two different resolutions. What was it, 13 and 16 or something like that?
13 and 11, and I think they
11,
kind of renamed it. It's now Article 17.
Yeah. So, anyways, basically what that article does, it's going to kill what we're doing right here. So, for instance, look at Jay's stream right there, and you see that in the background. We would actually get in trouble because he has an Apple logo in the background. And yes, that is exactly what this law is going to do. Unless we get specific permission from the copyright holder, you cannot do anything. You can't even use fair use. Like YouTube has a fair use policy where as long as you can use someone else's video, as long as you modify it to be in context of what you're talking about, that's fair use.
Yeah.
This article, the way I read it and all the videos I've read or I've watched about it, that is basically taking that out of the control of YouTube and putting it on to the copyright holders.
Ridiculous.
It is.
If I write an article and I want a link, just a hyperlink to someone else, if I don't have permission, I can get charged for that. If
so
I
basically,
use
the World Wide Web
with someone's face in it, and I didn't have permission from that person, I can get hit for it. If I want to quote somebody in a video, have a picture on my wall with copyrighted material.
Heaven forbid you cite sources.
Now in Europe, this just passed. That means it's not law yet. But now every
European
country in
country.
the EU is going to have to make laws to accommodate the passing of these articles.
Yep.
And that's going to affect all of us in America, in Russia, wherever you are. That's going to trickle down.
Yep. Because it's basically going to take Google, because they own YouTube, Instagram, I think, or is it Facebook owns Instagram? I can't remember who owns it.
Facebook.
Okay, but then you got Facebook owns Instagram. Also, they own their own video streaming service on their platform. Twitter. All these different social media platforms are basically going to they're going to basically say you can't do any memes. If you post a meme, okay, that is actually against the law according to this new rule.
How are people supposed to do product reviews? If I hold up a box of something,
You can't do that. That's wrong.
This is copyrighted.
That
That's copyrighted.
If you have to have a written letter of permission from that manufacturer to actually do that.
And people will think like, oh well, Facebook is just going to and Google are just going to pull the plug in Europe, and it'll be America and the rest of the country. But think what happened a few years ago when Europe passed a law, GPDR, or I forgot the exact name of it.
GDPR, General Data
And now
Protection
you have
Regulation.
every website, or a lot of websites, even American ones, or whatever country you're in, that now have, we use cookies. Please agree to our privacy policy, else we get slapped on the wrist and we get fined. And they have nothing to do with Europe, but just because they might receive traffic from Europe, they have to do this.
Yes.
And these new laws that are going to get implemented are going to affect everybody.
Well, I'll
they
tell
are.
you this, because at my previous job, I had to manage a project for the dreaded GDPR, which was crazy. And one of the reasons why I got the heck out of there. But so the problem with that law, and I think it's going to be similar to, if these things do make it into law, is that all these implementations of, okay, here's the strict date of when you have to be compliant by and blah, 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 blah. We had teams of lawyers in our company. Nobody had any idea what the letter of the law was versus the spirit of the law versus,
They still don't.
They still don't. They still don't. And so we had consultants come in. We had this. We had that. It was absolutely ridiculous. Everyone was chasing their own tail, and all of us could just agree that they're not going to come after us first. They're going to go after the Googles, the Facebooks of the world. They're going after them first because that's where the money is.
Well, what this is going to kill.
That's what this reminds me of.
This is actually going to kill all these copyright holders that were fighting for this. It's actually going to hurt them more. Because guess what? Now their products are not going to get out there and get reviewed for free, because a lot of YouTubers do that for free for them. And that's free advertising. So all that's gone now. So you could sit there and say goodbye to all that stuff. Yep. And you can't even, I don't think that whoever thought this stuff up didn't think when they were writing it.
No, they didn't. What do you think about websites like Yelp? Yelp doesn't have the permission of every restaurant or hotel or something to be on that site. Those services are going down. And this is just one little part of it. Because also, 2 days ago, the FTC gave internet service providers the green light to do whatever the hell they want.
Because net neutrality was stuck
if they want to block a service...
And I was just going to talk about that,
If they want to speed throttle a specific port or service, they can. If they want to start introducing internet fast lanes where you pay extra for the additional speed, now they can. All they have to do is be honest about it and say, we're throttling your FaceTime. So what?
Pay us more. $5 an hour.
Pay us extra, and you can throttle, or you can stream all you want.
And
same with YouTube, same with Netflix. It's and this is the thing that really ticks me off, is that when this was happening, a lot of my friends, and I don't want to get political here, but they were all pretty conservative, said, "Oh, that's not going to," because I kept telling them, "It's going to happen. It's going to happen. The ISPs are going to start throttling. It's going to happen." They're like, "Oh no, the FCC said that can't happen because the FTC was going to police it." Well, just a couple of days ago, and we'll put a link in here to the article. A couple of days ago, the FTC basically says, "Oh, we don't have the resources to do that." So guess what? The FCC lied its ass off, because that's not a dirty word.
I like this challenge, by the way.
And basically, we don't have any net neutrality. That was one of the few things I wish that they would have kept. The FCC had no business getting rid of net neutrality.
Yep.
It wasn't the FCC that got rid of it. It was our elected officials who this country put into office.
Well, the FCC did get rid of it. They washed their hands of trying to govern this, and then the FTC became in charge.
Well, that's what they said.
The FTC just said, "Yeah, well,
no, we're not doing
we're policing these people, but there's really nothing we can do." So you might as well.
And all the petitions and all the comments and everything that people sent in and everything, they either ignored it or they cherry picked ones to read, and it was just a crapshoot. You know,
I'm going to tell you something. I've had experience with the FCC comment section. I'm a ham radio operator, and because they have RMs, what they call rulemaking, that's what the RMs are. And for amateur radio, we got a lot of new rules coming out and stuff. And there was this new rule that came out that I strongly disagreed with, but the ARRL, which is the Amateur Radio Relay League, agreed with, wanted to push through because it fit their agenda. Well, I'm not an ARRL member, as you know, but I pushed up against it. And I wrote a long page. I mean, it must have been about 10 pages of facts of why we need to kill this rulemaking, or this RM. And guess what happened? And thousands of other people put the same stuff I did in there, but they ignored us and they just went with the ones saying, "Oh, we need this because it's good." Of course, they didn't have no facts to back theirs up, but we all had facts. But the FCC doesn't look at those, like Steve just said. They just whitewash over it. They don't care.
Yep. Yeah. And I would like to urge everybody, because everybody here that's watching, or one of us, at some point or another, you have heard about net neutrality. You either got an email or you saw a banner pop up somewhere, or it was covered in a video you watched, and more than likely, a lot of people just, I'm busy with something else right now. This is not what I'm here for. And because too many people ignored it, now it's gone.
Yep.
It's gone. The fight is over. We've done all the fighting we can do, and I signed the petitions. I called.
I did too.
I was on the street with the signs that says net neutrality.
Even though all my friends kept saying, "Oh no, it's good that we're getting rid of that." I'm like, "No, it's not." And I gave them facts. It's like, and that's the thing is, as long as you have facts, you can back up your argument. And here we have facts now. I mean, it's happening.
But now it's too late.
It is too late. It is.
And to revert, once this is signed into law, you know how hard it is to undo it?
Yep. Anytime something's put into law, it is impossible to get rid of.
So if you stream online, if you play games online, if you watch YouTube a lot, if you download a lot, if you FaceTime or Skype a lot, anything you do online might and very possibly will be affected soon by the fact that the internet service providers now have carte blanche to do whatever the hell they want to squeeze more money out of you.
Yep.
So look it up, net neutrality. Look it up, Article 11, 13, or 17 in the EU. Look up how it works, how it might affect you, and see how you can still fight back. Because there's always a way to fight back.
Yeah, we'll post some links in the description of some of the stuff we talked about this, because there's a couple of videos in there, and we'll warn you that there is some harsh language that we don't use in Mac Yak, but and it's because these guys have passion for it, and they are very angry about what they're doing. Because here's the thing, guys. You pay for bandwidth at an internet provider. You should be able to use up to your bandwidth limit no matter what you are doing. It doesn't they should not throttle you based on what you're doing, because you pay the ISP for one thing and one thing only, to provide you with a pipe.
Yep.
And they should provide you with the data you're paying for. So if you're paying for 300 megabit per second speed like I do, I should get 300 megabit per second all the time, every time, no matter what I'm doing. If I want to watch Netflix, boom, I get 300 megabits per second. You can't throttle Netflix. You know,
And
but
if you're thinking about being clever, say, oh, I'll just do my downloads over VPN. I'll do this over VPN. They're
going to throttle
VPN.
Yeah.
Because whatever you decide to do, as clever as you think you are, it still goes to the same cable, to the same ISP, where they have ultimate control over what flows to and from you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, and where this gets dangerous is, let's say your internet service provider comes out with a Netflix competitor. Well, you could use ours for free, but if you want to watch Netflix, that's an extra $2 a month.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what people were saying was not going to happen. It's happening.
Yes.
It's happening now.
You look at other countries, it's already like that, where you pay $5 for Facebook access or this. It's ridiculous. And quite frankly, I have the lowest priced internet service package I can in my area that is currently being offered. It is $50 a month, and that is with me purchasing a modem outright. So that's, discounting the $10 a month modem rental fee, but that's still $50 a month. And that's the cheapest I could get. I don't have any add-ons or anything like that. I don't have TV, just the internet modem. And that's only going to go up once these internet service companies say, oh, we could squeeze an extra few bucks out of this guy. We're looking at his traffic and he's on YouTube a lot. Well, we're going to custom tailor a package to you, and that'll cost you an extra $20 a month. How about that?
Yeah.
And if you think that's far-fetched, it's not. Because what we're discussing right now, they've already had their meetings about. They already have it all.
They had those meetings before net neutrality was killed.
They've been waiting.
Because as soon as this net neutrality got axed, they had like the cartoon
they were like this
with the dollar signs in the eyes. So, and if you do your backups online, iTunes or iCloud backups, Backblaze, they're like, oh, you want to back up your data? Cool story, bro. $10 a month says that you can do it faster. And they're going to try to squeeze you for everything you got. It might take a little while, because if they all start doing it tomorrow, of course, excrement is going to hit the fan. But it will happen. It will happen. So look into these topics. We'll put the links in the description after YouTube is done processing all this. And look into it, because it will affect you.
Educate yourself.
Yep. So that's all I have to say about that.
All right, guys. We're going to head to the next topic here. And basically, I'm going to throw it over to Rocky, because I have no clue about this. So, Rocky, you're up on this new Mac Yak challenge.
Oh, yes. Okay. Here I was thinking, I was like, what are you talking about? Which is what I was... Yeah, everybody's seen me probably looking over at my different screens and typing and hammering away. There's a reason for that. It's because I'm actually working on building the structure still for it. But it's actually there at the moment. But the new Mac Yak challenge, and it's going to be an ongoing challenge, is Mount Olympus. So we are setting out to have everybody start submitting. Now, of course, it's got to be, certain machines. We can't just say, la-di-da, everything. So, of course, as time goes on, we're going to increase the scope of it. But here's the goal. And I'll just read this straight of what I just got writing a little bit, what I got done writing a little bit ago. So, this is going to be where the strongest iGladiators compete for the coveted title of King of Olympus. Bring forth your Intel Macs, your Power PCs, your Hackintoshes, and iDevices. Let the games begin. So, we're going to... Yeah, good. No, I'm joking.
No, you gotta see what's...
Nice. I like it.
I had to.
Yeah, we're going to have, let's see, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams. There's a team for Power PC. We have a team for iDevices, of course. There's 2 teams for the Intel Macs. I did 3 there. There's 2 teams for Intel Macs. We have what's going to be called Current Macs. That's going to be 2013 to 2019. And then there are the Vintage Macs that are from 2006 to 2012. And yeah, If you're in 2013, you get current. But so those teams are going to break up. We're going to have competitions go down between the teams. We're using the tools that we're currently approving for use in the benchmarks. Are for the Power PCs, they're limited to Geekbench 2.2. And that's just because they can't really run a newer version. And
you can run 3 on there.
No.
Yeah, you can. I ran 3 on my G5.
You'll have to show me them.
Is Geekbench 2 OS 10 only?
Yes. Geekbench 2.2 is 10.4 and 10.5 capable. So that's...
I'm pretty sure I ran 3 on my G5. So,
I mean, we can figure that out and add to it. But we're kind of putting it in that realm so it keeps them in a fair game against each other. And then they will, of course, be added to the main competition. For any newer Intel Max Hackintoshes, you have to use Geekbench 4. We have links in our Discord for it. This whole competition is going to be tracked in Discord. And then, Jay, I don't know if you're going to be building anything out on the site for the awards and whatnot. We're also including Cinebench R20 for just to have it. And then Unigen Haven right now is going to be kind of basically that's going to test the gaming prowess of your machine. So you can run just one benchmark, you can run a couple of them because each of the
Heaven or Haven?
I pronounce it Haven, but it might be Heaven. You might be correct. But regardless, the point of it is each category is going to be broke out by the benchmark utility used and by the device team that you're on. So you're going to first have your iGladiators competing there. It's going to be tallied up. There's a title win for that. And then the benchmark utility itself, whichever one it is, then all the teams will, with their gladiator that won in their little sub-competition, will then go to the general, grand winner. So that means your best Hackintosh out of your team, I don't want to try to mispronounce that Greek word, is going to be competing head-to-head with the best of the best from your vintage and current Macs, as well as the Power PCs and iDevices. So after that, it goes on to the ultimate, which is where you can win the prize of King of Olympus, where that tournament is all of the benchmark utilities that are utilized will be added together, all the totals, and so of course you do have to actually run all the benchmarks if you want to be included in that one, and then it will be divided for the average, and then the average is the score that we will take in the all-encompassing one, which will then allow you to compete for King of Olympus. So, and weekly we will be announcing the winners. So whoever has won the current week's title, because right before, we'll determine the time exactly when we'll take the snapshot of what is current, and then we will announce the title holders for that week, and going into, who's won which title and who they are. So you could be featured on Mac Yak and immortalized with your new fresh title. And there may be even plans in the future where we might start giving out awards. It just depends on how much this takes off. So
interesting.
Yep.
Yeah, it is.
And it's all now on Discord.
I'm just deeply hurt that there's no 68K challenge there.
Well, we can always put that in the where's our suggestion box? So we don't have one yet.
You'll show me where the suggestion box is.
Yeah, like King of Olympus, 68K is more like King of the Anthill if you compare it to all the other categories.
Hey, my anthill's higher than your anthill.
Oh, we'll see about that.
There you go. And we already
we're gonna build this out and see where it goes. It should be a fun little competition, and like Rocky said, maybe in the future there's something in it. Rocky's going to give away his Mac Pro or something.
Yeah, right.
I'll give away an Alpha Smart.
Maybe Grudy can give away another G5 like he did before.
Hey,
let's do that.
Hey, he's not here. We can volunteer him.
Yep, it is done.
Now, is a clone considered a Hackintosh?
No, because that's an official Mac.
I'm joking.
But that is PowerPC era, so.
Yeah.
It's in between Steve Jobs times.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, you know what I would?
Period.
I would like to see somebody come up with a older G3, or let's say a 603 unit with a PowerPC G3 upgrade card or something, and actually dominate. Yeah, there you go.
He's
And
already got
actually
one. Look at that.
dominate the.
I already got one.
Let's see. That is Team Aphrodite. So, come out winning there. Come out swinging. See if you can beat my G5.
No, mine's only a 500 megahertz G3, so I don't think it's going to do that. I think it's rigged from the start, and I will not participate.
Well, we can always break it out maybe by G3, G4 or something.
Best G3, woo!
You could always wear the toga that you said you was going to wear there, Steve.
Oh, I will.
Oh, there you go.
Only if I win.
No, this is too funny. All right, guys, let's go ahead and move on. This might be a shorter version of Mac Yak this week, but we still got a few more things to talk about here. But we're going to go ahead and move on over to the news and rumors. Then we only got one news article on here right now, and it kind of has to do with what we talked about earlier about the repairability stuff. Apple slightly loosens its grip on who mends your devices. Okay, so basically all they're doing is they're going to start letting third-party repair shops start to actually use their software diagnostic tools. That's about it. They're still not giving out schematics. They're still not giving out parts. They're not going to sell parts or anything like that. So it doesn't, to be honest with you, I don't think that's a non-issue because half of their stuff is leaked out to the internet already anyways.
Well, yeah. Yeah, I think it does help, I guess, in those circumstances. I think, if I recall correctly, there was like one of the newer MacBooks had a SSD on it, and you could only recover it by using some software or whatever from Apple or some nonsense.
Well, not according to Apple, it's not recoverable. Remember?
No. They said it was recoverable. There was some like serviceable port on a MacBook Air or something.
Well, a few MacBook Pros ago, they had a port on the board that only Apple could connect the device to recover
exactly.
data.
So I guess hopefully that
now that port's no longer there.
Field. Yeah. Well, of course, by the time they allow it, it's gone already.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. The port on the newer, I think the Touch Bar MacBooks do not have that port anymore.
Oh, lovely.
So and
just out of luck.
And the SD RAM, or not RAM, but the SD drive is actually soldered to the board now. Just like my MacBook Pro I have, it doesn't have a frickin' little M2 stick anymore. It's soldered. All the memory and everything is soldered.
Does freaking count?
Yeah, no.
Gosh darn
it. It's like I could say like Battlestar Galactica, frack. That doesn't count because they use that. Remember? I don't know if you ever watched Battlestar Galactica, but frack was the word they used to substitute for.
Yes, we can imagine.
Yeah.
Trying to back yourself out of that corner there.
No, same thing.
Yeah, I think it's a step in Apple's in a good direction for Apple, but again, it's 2 steps.
It's still not enough.
Forward, 2 steps back.
It's not enough.
Like the overlay says, make up your freaking mind. Block serious repair attempts and good advice on your forums. Like you go out of your way to make sure it's not there, and then you do this to make up your mind, dude.
Yeah, it's. I think it's. I don't know why they did it. Maybe there was some legal thing that they were getting sued over in states like that have a right to repair laws or whatever. But it's too little. They got to do much more, especially if they're, like we said before, they're so green and whatever. You're releasing stuff that's just going to be e-waste in a few months. So
exactly.
It's ridiculous.
I mean, a screen gets broken on a phone. Oh, well, you got to bring it to us and pay us $150 to repair a screen when you could take it to your local shop and get, a $30, and the screen probably only costs about $30,
Yeah, well, that's the thing. The whole markup is their
Apple tax.
Is the Apple tax and the labor. I'll tell you a very brief story. A friend of mine had an iMac G5 that had a power supply recall, and this was back in the day when the program was still alive, so you could go back and actually get it repaired. And his power supply died, and it was $80 for the power supply. So we went to the Apple store and said, "Yes, we have the part in stock." And he said, "Okay, I'd like to buy the part." "No, we have to install it for you. And by the way, your Apple Care expired 2 weeks ago." So he said, "Okay, well, how much is that?" "Well, the part is $80 and the labor is $80. So, you had no choice. You had to, just pay up. And this was a faulty part as part of their program because their
Then you know what I would tell them?
Died,
well, just charge me $80 for the part and give me the part. I'll put it in.
Yeah,
But then Apple, they won't do that.
They would not budge. No, they won't. They can't.
No,
Because
that's the whole thing that Apple wants to keep their repair process to assure quality. But I think I am lucid enough to decide for myself if I want your screen or if I just buy one from iFixit and put it on myself.
Yeah.
That should be my call. And sure, I'm not going to get maybe as good of a screen, but guess what? My phone will work again, and I'll be happy.
Well, this also goes back to the Linus iMac Pro that he broke the screen on. Remember? And he tried to get Apple to repair it, but because they opened it up, Apple said no. And he said, "Okay, then give me the parts." And Apple said no. So he was like, it was a catch-22. It's like, and they said, "Well, you have to buy a new one." And it's like, and that was like about a $6,000 or $7,000 machine at the time.
Yep.
So just buy a new one. Here, let me write my checkbook out for you.
And that goes against what we were talking about, the green stuff. I mean, like Steve just said, that whole iMac then just basically became e-waste.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do?
Or you could bring it to the Apple store and they will recycle it for you, and they're probably ripping that thing apart for parts.
Yeah, they got a fancy robot for that, right?
Yeah, I really don't think that robot's doing that. I think that was just to be honest with you, it was a gimmick. And they've got like a whole bunch of Chinese laborers getting those phones.
I think it's Pakistan, actually, from what I was watching.
It might be Pakistan.
Well, human labor is cheaper than building the robot, we'll just say that.
It's one of those third world countries. Because to be honest with you, and Steve's right, it's a lot cheaper than spending millions of dollars on a robot to do that. And I'm sorry, but that robot just can't do what a human can do.
Yep.
Taking stuff apart like that.
True.
Because think about it. A lot of the phones you're going to get back have stripped screws or a cracked LCD, or the case is a little warped. Now you get that when it's new. It might be a little bent. And
it's a feature.
That robot that is perfectly calibrated to do exact movements is not going to be able to do what it needs to do to take those things apart. So
that's why
if you needed a perfect phone, it'll do a perfect job. But what about all the other hundreds of thousands of damaged phones?
Well, what are they going to get? One perfect phone out of hundreds? Because, like you just said, most of those phones that they're sitting there are broke or bent or strip screws or don't even have a front face or something like that.
Yeah, the first iPhone 3G I got, the accelerometer didn't work, so that was fun.
Yeah. All right, guys, we're going to move on. Rocky, you got this again now. Man,
me again?
Yes, you again. So, Rocky, take it away. It's the Rock Evil Mod Pixie Gaming.
Okay, so...
Just let me know when you want your stuff up.
Okay, do you have the first screen up? Preview?
I can put that up right now.
Okay.
All right.
So as you all can see, this week's game, which was actually supposed to be last week, but then the game had an update and I didn't get my video done. So, yay, thanks. So as you can see, it is Dungeons and Dragons Online, and let me pull up my little cheat sheet here. It was released by a company called Standing Stone Games. Of course, I think that was also in conjunction with... what is that? The Magic the Gathering company. Whatever. Wizards of the Coast. There we go. So, in conjunction with them, we're going to have a link, of course, down below to the game. If you would go ahead and start the game video for me there.
Hold on a second. Let me get it up. So keep talking.
All right. Well, the rest of it deals with it. But
sorry.
No, I'm just joking with you. Hopefully the sound's off or they won't hear me.
All right, guys, here's the game review.
You mustn't let the scrolls fall into devourer hands. The door swings open, revealing it appears that the floor in this room can be moved and rotated.
Okay.
All
right. So as you can see, there was a little bit of game footage from the game. I rate this a 3 out of 5 puck mice. The reason I say that is it's not that it's a bad game. It's actually very good. If you're someone that enjoyed the D&D series, the original board games. Well, I can't say board games, tabletop games. You'll enjoy this. It'll probably be more around a 4 out of 5. The things that I ding it on are the controls. They're a little sloppy. They're not very well refined, as you would expect from a modern game. It feels like the game controls I would expect to be playing more like Marathon. Actually, I think Marathon had more refined controls than this. So
That's
it's a little sloppy. Yeah, so it's a little sloppy. It is an MMO, so it is actually a massive online multiplayer, and it does run very well on the modern Macs. The system requirements are quite low, so the game itself is optimized and made pretty darn well. It's just unfortunately the controls suck. They're not horrible. I mean, I can't say that they're so bad it makes it unplayable. They're not. I mean, that's why it's a 3 out of 5. It's still very worth playing. I would recommend it to anybody that enjoys D&D at all. It does have the dungeon crawling aspect and different features like that. And then if you would go ahead and, unless you guys want to talk a little bit about it, I don't know if you guys ever played D&D back in the day.
System information or requirements is up.
Sweet. And as you guys can see, the system requirements are quite low. It only requires macOS 10.7.5. Of course, I didn't test that. A 2 gigahertz. Yeah, there you go. There is it would like to have a 2 gigahertz i5, 2 gigs of RAM, Intel HD 3000 or better. And for whatever reason, they say 18 gigabytes of space. I don't recall seeing that in my own personal. I could pull up Steam here and find out.
Yeah, it probably wants extra space for updates and decompressing and things like that.
Yeah, maybe. But I just don't remember. I mean, they recommend a GT 650M. But as you saw in the video, my machine, which is running a 750 Ti, it runs it no problem and recorded it at 60 frames per second, 720p. So, it didn't take much to run it. But it's actually quite a lot of fun. So, yep. All done.
Very nice.
Very nice. All right, Steve, you're up for your archive adventures.
Sure, and I'm going to do this the
Still not
cheap
a porn.
and easy way of
That's what
pointing
she
my camera at the thing.
Yeah, because I don't have anything to.
Yeah, that's my fault. So essentially, there are a bunch of CDs out there that were released by Apple, and these are marketing and sales CDs, and I have 2 of them here. I don't know why I was actually showing the screen because I have them in person, but anyway, these are pretty neat. And so these were sales and marketing CDs. Each of them have 2 discs, at least the ones I have. I have 2. One's from August 1998. So one here with the lovely little PowerBook on the front. And the other one I have here is from February 1999, which has the beautiful candy-colored IMAX on the front.
The ones Jay doesn't like.
Yeah, well, the ones Jay does not like. But what's really cool about these is, first off, from what I understand, these were requested by like an Apple sales rep or someone who was trying to sell these Macs, or maybe a school or an institution that was buying these machines. And so these CDs are full of presentations and photos, high-res photos, spec sheets, little utilities, and a bunch of goodies. I mean, these are just really cool. And so there was a guy on eBay, I think he still has them. He has like a whole binder full of them, and he wants something like $400 or something ridiculous like that. But I got these fairly affordably, and it would be a shame for me just to hold on to them. So I'm pasting a link in the chat right now. It's going to go to my Patreon. It's a public post, so you don't have to pay me, although if you want to contribute, you're welcome, more than welcome to do so. And I posted a Google Drive link, and that'll eventually go into an archive.org link once I upload them there. But you could download these disk images. They're in .cdr format, which you could just change to a .iso. And each of the collection has 2 discs. Now, I will warn you that the programs on these CDs are from 1998, 1999. So a lot of them require an old Mac to run. But some of the files in there are images or QuickTime movies and things. So you should be able to get around with them. But I think these things are really awesome, and they're basically time capsules. There's this little sheet that comes with them, and it's like sort of like a fold-out poster.
A centerfold for Mac.
Yes, and I just think it's just. I mean, look at that studio display there. That's just awesome. And I mean, this tells you what's on here. So this is, has a Apple Studio Display FAQ, a disk copy version 6, iMac merchandising letter, Macintosh G3 FAQ, open-minded commercial. So a lot of commercials on here too, which is cool. Of course, the resolution is quite low, but that's just the limitation of the day. And just going to briefly... Oh, it'll be on Macintosh Garden, too. I just haven't gotten a chance. These are on Google Drive, because that's just where I put them. So it'll be on Macintosh Garden and archive.org. I'm not going to discriminate against one or the other. I love both equally. So, and this other disc from 1998, let's see what goodies are on here. We have some WWDC things. Oh, these are cool. So, in WWDC, they did an iMac versus a Pentium 2, and it was a duel. So it was something like, basically they set up Photoshop, or I think it was Macromedia Director, and they had the script run, and they had both machines do the same task. And obviously the Mac won because they practiced this, and they chose a machine that wouldn't beat it or anything.
I think I remember
these are the actual clips that show that in progress. And not only are they the video clips, they give you the resources to do this yourself. So, Rocky, as part of the challenge that you're doing, maybe some of you guys want to download some of those clips and some of those resources and try and recreate that shootout. I'm going to certainly do that on my
that sounds like a cool idea.
Yeah, so that's on the which disc is this? The 1998 one, I believe. This is on the August 1998 disc. That's on disc 2. And that's the G3 performance demo files, and then the movie files are there. So I will personally do that, and I think these are just, really cool little goodies. If anybody happens to find any of these in their collection or on eBay or anything like that, or you already have
them, send them your way, right?
Send them my way. I want to make sure they're archived, because there's only a few out there right now.
Because Steve has plenty of shelf space in his basement.
No, don't send them to me physically. My wife would murder me. Please upload them to archive.org or Macintosh Garden or all those good places, and make sure you let me know so I can download them too. But
yep.
Yeah, so those are goodies, and check out the link for my Patreon. That'll go right there. It's in the chat window, and you can take a look at those and download them.
Yeah, and a funny story about these resource CDs. We were on iMessage one night, and as always, it was late, and you start doing stuff when it's already way past your bedtime. And we started browsing the old archives and eBay and looking for them, and we actually found 1 or 2 of them available.
We found 3
online. And we started going through them, and the original products photos that are included on some of them, high res for the time, and now it's like a standard JPEG. But it's really cool. It's really cool.
Oh, they're beautiful. Yeah, because you Google image search for an iMac or something, and you get like one. Like these had every color, like the backs, the sides, the fronts.
Yeah,
really neat. So I think that. These are time capsules, and a lot of the information here, sadly, is not anywhere else. So my goal is to try and archive as many as my wallet will allow me to. So.
Yep. All right, guys, we're going to move over to what were they smoking? Yeah, I have a link here I'm going to post in the thing because I'm not going to pull it up if it will post for me. It's probably telling me, oh, wait, it's too many characters. I can't post it in here. I'm having issues with that right now, so that's the reason why I was going to post the link. Anyways, if you go to eBay, we'll post a link in the description here, but there's this guy selling a Power Mac G4 MDD dual 1.25 gigahertz, 2 gigabyte, includes 20-inch studio display. Now, before I say what he wants for it, what do you guys think one of those is worth? Especially you guys right here.
What's the processor speed?
1.25. It's a dual 1.25 gigaherters, 2 gigabytes
I haven't
included.
seen the listing yet, so I'll guess here. And
I put a link in the
screen.
Did you find? Was you able to get the link in?
I'm saying
Yeah,
a
some people can do
G4.
it.
I'd say the G4 is probably, depending on the specs, 50 to 75, and the screen is, I don't know, less than that. But I'm guessing he wants multiple hundreds of dollars here.
Well, how much are you thinking, though?
I'd say at least 500, 600.
No. How much would you think it's worth, though?
Oh,
not what he's asking.
I wouldn't pay over $100.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. Yeah. Here's the thing: this guy wants $700.
Oh boy!
I mean, yes, it comes with a 20-inch cinema display, a studio
have
display.
fun shipping that.
Yeah. A keyboard and a mouse. It's the Mighty Mouse with the.
Let me click on the link here.
Yeah. The Mighty Mouse isn't worth that much.
Exactly.
It's a $5 mouse.
And
exactly.
Small dark spot, ½ inch on the monitor. Oh, imperfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, even if the drive doors were mirror perfect, I think
that's the monitor size I acquired, maybe, by the looks of it, and how it compares to that mirror drive door.
Well, that complete set, as listed there, because I love anything MDD, I would give no more than $75.
Yeah, I think in that condition, he's pushing it to even get 100 out of it.
Now, what video card was in that one, though?
They had like the G4 Go MX or whatever.
No, that's a beefier card than that, just by the picture.
I didn't even see.
Okay.
I don't see it listed anywhere what it is.
But I mean, you guys tell me if that's just ridiculous price. I mean, we're having fun with this section. What were they smoking? I think we will have content forever because I hate to say it, but
I have a theory, guys. Mm-hmm. I think we know the seller. Doesn't that look an awful lot like Greg Rutke's floor?
No.
Yeah, it does, actually.
The location doesn't match. This guy's in Colorado.
Darn. I was going to say, he's got everything on the floor like Greg.
Don't look at my floor. He'll judge me.
Well, that's what he films all his stuff. It's all on the floor. He takes it apart. It's on the floor. It's like, dude, get a table.
The funniest part about this listing? Look at the name that it's under. Steals and Deals.
Yeah.
He's trying to steal something.
This is neither.
Sure.
No, he's stealing and he's dealing.
Yeah, you're not
sounds
part
more
of
like it. Yeah,
you're part of the LLC. You're just giving him money.
Exactly. Okay, this week we actually had two. What were they smoking? Because these two top ones came in. I think this one I'm going to mention here in a second. If you could post the link here, Jay, I appreciate it. Because this is a YouTube video that I came across the other day, and this was just plain ridiculous.
Oh, this guy
using safety pins to charge a iBook.
Sorry, that's going to be a thumb down for me.
Yeah, I did a thumbs down for it. But it's funny because I left a comment on there, and he just proceeded to cuss me out because I just said this is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. And
I'm liking your comment and thumbing down his as we speak.
I think I probably I just saw your.
I'll do the same.
Yeah, I see that. I just got the alert on my phone saying. But anyways, I like this section because we get to bring out idiots like this.
Wait! He loved your comment. You could
Yeah,
see.
he did. He did. And then he loved his own comment.
Yeah, but he cursed you out. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
But it's the funniest thing ever. It's funny because I'm not
smoking some.
I wasn't the only one, but then you see some of the other comments in there, people saying, "Oh, this is the best thing ever." Like, dude, that's a fire hazard. That's what that is.
Can you charge a MacBook Pro with this method? Why?
Yours is now the highlighted comment on the YouTube video. It is highlighted comment.
Oh, good. Maybe the guy will. Thank you, Mac Yackers. You guys put that as the highlighted comment. Appreciate it. That's what we have a good Mac Yak community for there. But we had to put both of these on there. We want to keep this section to one, but this deserves.
This is just.
Well, an important part of this section, guys. Every week we forget this. What do we think they were actually smoking?
I don't know. To be honest,
you know the magic blue smoke that comes out of chips when something overheats or fries? I think that's what they were smoking.
Yeah, that's probably smoking battery acid.
No, they were probably, like Jay's sister tells me, he's probably sniffing freaking solder resin, you know?
What, you guys don't want to try some of this? I mean, it's pretty good stuff.
It is good stuff.
That was great.
Yeah, let me just touch myself up here. There we go.
Oh, you're according to Shutterstock, you're holding it wrong, buddy.
Oh well,
yeah. You're supposed to hold it by the iron.
Yeah, give me
car exhaust.
3-degree burn. Yeah, technically I could charge my MacBook by licking both of my fingers and touching a car battery from the battery to the MacBook.
Oh, can you?
Do that because, I have some common sense.
That would work. And you might even get a red LED on your nose.
I'll try more than that.
So, guys, if you go and watch that video, you're gonna sit there and go like this. You're gonna shake your head like we did when we saw it. We're like, "Oh, dude, that's a fire hazard waiting to happen."
Well, I'm reporting this video on YouTube because it has harmful, dangerous acts.
It was funnier about.
And don't get me wrong, I grew up with MacGyver. I'm all for trying to figure this kind of stuff out, but come on, dude.
That was just plain stupid. Just
put an advisory on there.
Just go buy you could buy a damn charger for about $10. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not even using the correct wattage for it. If you notice that, the amperage is not correct. The voltage definitely is not correct. I think
voltage is the most important part.
It's supposed to be 24 volt, but yet it's only 19 volt for the charger he's using. So it's
but at a much higher amperage, I think. I don't recall.
Voltage is the important one because it'll fry stuff if it's too high and it won't work if it's too low. Amperage, it has to be equal or greater.
Yeah, amperage can be greater, even wattage can be greater, because usually electronic
wattage can.
Exactly. The computer's going to only take in as much wattage or amperage as it needs. It's not going to take more. It can't regulate how much voltage is going into it.
Yep.
That's the problem. I mean, yes, he's using like a 6 volt lower voltage, but all that's going to do is destroy the charging circuit because the charging circuit's expecting 24 volts, and he's only getting 19.
And you know what's going to happen? I mean, I know it's an older video, I think, but he's going to go on the Apple support forums and say, my Mac isn't working. Can I get my data back? And they're going to say no. And if you post a link to Lewis Rossman's videos, you're going to
Lewis is probably going to say, no, you put safety pins in the charging port. I'm not going to touch this thing.
You could get a knockoff charger for your iBook for like $10 on eBay. I mean,
that's what I said. Yeah, it's $10. I'm like, come on, dude.
Maybe if you're on a desert island and you have to MacGyver this to save your life, yeah, sure, go ahead and do that. But don't put this on YouTube and some kid's going to find it and electrocute himself or blow up his laptop.
That was my whole point about the video is that, you got people and they're actually commenting. If you read the comments, some of the comments are like, oh, this is the best hack ever. I'm like,
yeah.
Okay, what were you guys smoking then?
It's a community type thing.
Yeah, it's like puff, puff, pass.
Yeah, zap, zap, zap.
God, that reminds me of the other thing we were talking about, having to mail that.
Oh, yeah. I'm running on about 4 or 5 hours of sleep last night, guys, so bear with me. I'm like,
that's all right. We're almost done. We can power through it.
Yes, we almost are.
I think we are.
Well, this is the last topic, so basically, I'm just trying to fill up a little bit. But if you guys in the if you guys watching have any comments or anything you want to see us talk about in the future, get on our Discord. Let us know about it. I probably will not be on Discord tonight later, but Rocky might be on there. I don't know if Jay is, but yeah, he's like. It all depends on sick wife and sick kids, right?
Yeah, they're sleeping now, which is why I'm still here. But that could change at any moment, and then I'm running around with buckets and tissues and stuff.
Oh, I wanted to share a nugget of knowledge, if I may.
Go for it.
So I have a SCSI 2 SD adapter, which I thought suddenly just stopped working for no reason, and it made no sense to me why suddenly it stopped working. Well, it turns out when you're unplugging an adapter into very strange SCSI wires from old Macs, some dust could accumulate on the pins. So the pins on my SCSI 2 SD adapter just needed an old brushing from an old toothbrush or a paintbrush or anything just to clear off some of the dust. And it works fine. So I made a post in one of the Facebook groups, I think it was Low End Mac, about
all that drama, all those hours of you complaining for dust?
But I will show you. Hold on, if I could get it here. I did, during the process, do a little modification, which is not really a mod because they offer it this way, but I did this, on my own. I added a 25-pin DB SCSI connector on this as well, so I could use this as an external device, for a Mac that I don't want to rip open or anything like that. So, or for a PowerBook or whatever. So. You can order a SCSI 2 SD with that on it, but it's going to cost you an extra $10. But
I got a question for you on that. I got a question for you. So that came with the holes already for that?
Yes, it did. Yeah. So I just put my own port right in here. That's a better angle there. And from the supplier, you can choose if you want it added on. It's an extra $10, like I said. But you could just get a bunch of these little connectors and do it yourself. So that's what I ended up doing. It's a pain because you have to bend the pins and make sure they're all snug and everything. But, once you solder one or two of the traces on here, it's pretty snug. And before I figured out that this was dusty, I soldered this on and it connected fine. So I said, okay, well, it has to be the other connector. And lo and behold, there was dust in the 50-pin connector. So, but these are great little devices. I'm going to do a video about that. Coming up soon, but now I could finish my Performa 430 video because this thing is working again, so that's all good.
Yay! New content. In fact, I need to go be a patron to your channel. I Patreon to everybody but Steve right now.
All right, so shameless plug. Everybody here has their own Patreon account.
Except me. Except me. I don't have one.
Well, Greg is loaded. He doesn't need it.
Just
if you say, I really don't like Rocky, but I love Jay. My Patreon, and you can pay me directly to support my videos and content. Or maybe you like Steve and you can't stand meat, and you can support him. There will be links in the description, and we will appreciate your support.
Yes, all you guys do wonderful. I support everybody in Mac Yak. I haven't done Steve. I need to do Steve's now, but I just started supporting Rocky. So
yeah, thank you.
But I supported Jay and Greg for a while, and I just saw Rocky's Patreon. I was like, oh, well, I got to go. And it's funny because he didn't even know it, and I said, hey, she just noticed something.
Yeah, I had to tell him too. So by the way.
Yeah.
I'm bad about keeping up on my email.
To be honest with you guys, I mean, we're not charging anything for Mac Yak at all. I don't think we're ever going to try to. I don't want to.
I say
I'm
we
not
sell
gonna
merch.
monetize this.
Sell merch.
I'll buy a hat.
I don't want to do that. I want to keep this as friendly as possible. That way, none of us argues about, oh, well, who's going to get, the whole $1 this month, or whatever.
I got a shiny nickel. Hooray!
No, but we're here for you guys. I mean, we started this as something to do on a Thursday night, and it's you guys that keep us coming back. So
Yeah,
Thank
and
you.
the same goes for Discord, and when we hang out on Facebook, if there's any monetization going on, that is completely up to us individuals for our own websites, our own Patreon, and but not Mac Yak. It's
yeah.
Yeah, and I think that just helps Mac Yak, because whatever we're doing in our personal projects that we get some backing and support for, that's going to come right back here. Like those these discs that I imaged. Since I had some Patreons, I had some extra bucks to spend on that. Or if Jay's going to recap some Xserve power supplies, he's going to make some awesome content and guides on that, which are helpful to anybody who has one of those devices.
And they're not. I mean, I would say they're cheap to make the content, but to take the time to do it and the quality that you get. I mean, look at Greg Rutke. How many videos he has up on his channel to help people?
Oh yeah,
he has.
It's a great resource.
It is. In fact, I just used it yesterday for my Mac Pro to flash it. Although the video he has is outdated now, but it still worked.
That's Apple's fault.
Yeah, it's Apple's fault actually, because they changed the location of the EFI updater. But
now all of this said, we're not charging for Mac Yak, but if internet service providers are going to start throttling the stream, we might need your help to pay
whatever ransom they want. Yeah,
yeah.
We'll start sending this show out on cassette tapes to those who want it.
You can load them on
Here's your zip
old
drive with this week's Mac Yak.
Yeah. You could choose your format. You want a cassette, a zip drive, or a CDR.
Dude, I would actually do that now. Like just for the fun of it, because like we used to do in high school and stuff, exchanging software and stuff like that. Like, hey, you want this week's Mac Yak? Here you go, Sam.
Yeah,
hey, James wants.
That's awesome.
James wants to know. He wonders if Jay will tackle recapping an Octane 2 PSU from Nick.
Dude, I only counted like 5 capacitors in that thing, so why not?
Oh, that's easy.
And then he also said, I need to start a Restore the Boneyard fundraiser. Hey, there's a GoFundMe for anything out there, dude. Go do a GoFundMe. I mean, look, they got GoFundMes for some of the dumbest things out there. So I'm pretty sure you could probably put a GoFundMe for James, Boneyard.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure there are some suckers people out there that would actually, give you money.
Wow.
Well, in this case, it's to validly save some poor innocent old Macs. But geez.
Well, we know who won't be supporting it.
Well, I don't believe in GoFundMe, to be honest with you. There's just too many scams out there on GoFundMe, and it's gotten to the point where anybody could put anything on there.
Oh, of course. You got to know who you're supporting, whether it be Patreon or whatever it is.
Exactly. And that's the reason why
you see our faces every week, and don't we look trustworthy?
Trust me.
The answer is no.
Yeah, don't trust us. Just listen to us.
Yeah, at least we won't shove safety pins into your MacBook charger's cable port, whatever the heck it is.
Do as we say, not as we do.
Exactly. All right, guys. I think we're about running the course here. I think we're only 5 minutes short, so we'll go ahead and cut this one.
Put the Discord overlay up at
I've got it coming up, so just chill.
Sorry, I muted there for a moment. If anybody was curious, that was my daughter that came home. So,
all right, here you go. Here's the Discord overlay since you want it. So there it is.
And I'll repost again the Discord in the chat, the link to it.
Yep. So if you guys want to come hang out with Rocky, I think he might, or even Jay might be in there too.
Yeah, I'll be in a little bit.
Yeah, I'll be there.
Hey, we might even start up
I
some
have
UT tonight. Maybe
something
What the
else
heck?
here I might have to work on. I just got this in today, and it's
Got some
SSDs
SSDs.
for my various Macs. I got 3 of them from Newegg, so I'm going to be playing with those.
Nice. My SSD is missing one S. All it has is one S.
Hey, I have one of those in my iMac G4, so
Oh,
works pretty good.
Nice.
It's an IDE to SD.
Those I was reading up a lot about those. Those are interesting devices.
Yeah, I have an extra one if you ever want one.
Yeah, I have one. What's interesting is the pinout is basically, at least for compact flash, it's like a miniaturized IDE. So it's like that's where they're so cheap. There's no conversion necessary. It's just right to a socket.
Yep. All right, guys. If there's nothing else here, let's go ahead and close this episode of Mac Yak, and we will see you guys later.
Have a good one, people.
Have a good one.
Bye.
Yep. Thanks for hanging out with us.